The Saint Vincent. This thing doesn't just enter a battle, it shows up like a boss fight. Tier 10 British battleship, yes, but this isn't your average Royal Navy warship that sits back and sips tea while farming HE damage. Saint Vincent came here to brawl, to speed boost around the map like it forgot it's a battleship, and to slap people into next week with some of the most brutal salvos you'll see at Tier 10. It looks weird, moves fast, and hits like it's angry at everything. Let's take a moment and admire how absolutely unhinged this ship is, starting with its appearance. You've got this weird, low profile that looks like someone tried to build a stealth battleship but got distracted halfway through. The hull is long and sharp like a dagger, the turrets look like they were meant for something way smaller, and the entire silhouette just screams, "I am speed." Honestly, if the Batmobile had a naval cousin, this would be it. It doesn't look like it belongs in World War II, it looks like it belongs in a Bond movie chase scene. But underneath that sci-fi look is some real firepower. 9 305mm rifles with tight dispersion and brutal alpha damage. That's not British behavior, that's straight up bullying. Most Royal Navy battleships tend to lean into the HE spam lifestyle, setting fires and annoying people from mid-range. Saint Vincent looked at that tradition and said, nah, I'm gonna send cruisers back to port with a single salvo and make destroyers regret waking up today. These guns aren't just good, they're surgical when they want to be. The penetration is solid, the reload is competitive, and the shell arcs mean you can reach over islands when you need to, or go full broadside delete mode when someone gets cheeky. And then there's the speed boost. On a battleship, this ship literally has an engine boost consumable like a destroyer. Do you realize how cursed that is? Watching the Saint Vincent pull 34 knots while chasing a cruiser across the map is comedy gold. It lets you reposition, charge flanks, rotate to support weak caps. All the things a battleship normally struggles with. You can catch ships off guard, you can run from CVs, kinda, or you can just flex on a flank like, yeah, I'm a battleship and I'm moving faster than half your team. From torpedoes, let's talk about the torpedoes. Because Saint Vincent isn't content with being fast and punchy, it also carries 2 quad launchers, 1 per side. That's 8 torpedoes, each doing 29k plus damage, with solid stealth and respectable speed. And the launch angles, chef's kiss. These are not emergency torps you pray with, these are I planned this ambush torps. Nothing's funnier than a cruiser rushing your side thinking you're just a gun platform, and then boom, wall of skill to the face, back to port. Even battleships respect it. A close range fight with Vincent isn't just dangerous, it's downright lethal. Let's not forget that superheel British BBs have always had strong heals, but Saint Vincent takes it to a whole other level. You get massive chunks of HP back, enough to completely turn fights around. Take a devastating strike to the face, pop the heel. You're back in business. It's like getting knocked out in a boxing match and immediately standing back up with more energy than before. You get multiple charges too, so if you manage your cooldowns right, this ship will just not die. It's the naval version of a raid boss, down but never out. Otherwise, it's a mixed bag. You've got some good plating, especially around the Citadel, and the turtleback style scheme means you're not just an easy deep strike every time you show some broadside, but you still need to angle properly. You're not a Kremlin. If you sail broadside into a Yamato, your next stop is the match result screen. But angle well, use your speed to stay in control of the engagement, and you're a nightmare to push into. Plus, the low silhouette means you're surprisingly hard to hit at range, especially when you're jiggling around at full speed like a caffeinated destroyer. AI defense is, well, it's there. Saint Vincent's AA is decent, but it's not exactly going to solo a squadron like a Montana or Des Moines. You'll shoot some planes down, but a determined carrier will still get strikes off. So, keep an eye out for enemy CVs. And if you see them coming, maybe consider sticking with a buddy or using your speed to make their life miserable. What helps though is the agility. You can juke bombs and torpedoes better than most battleships. You can actually wiggle, that's a luxury in Tier 10. Speaking of agility, this ship handles more like a cruiser than it has any right to. You've got decent rudder shift, a reasonable turning circle, and thanks to the speed boost, you can reposition or dodge shells in ways most battleships can only dream of. It lets you take weird fights and win them. You can kite, you can push, you can dance around islands like you're in a light cruiser. It completely flips the script on how BBs are supposed to play. And now we get to the real spicy part, playstyle. Saint Vincent isn't a passive ship. This isn't Yamato or Republique, where you sit back and wait for perfect broadsides. Saint Vincent wants to get into the fight. It thrives in chaos. You want to be close to the action, not so close that you get crossfired, but close enough to brawl and punish people. You push flanks flanks with support. You pick on out-of-position cruisers, and you don't hesitate to charge when the opportunity strikes. You want to time your engagements so that you're unloading full salvos, following up with torps, then healing through the return fire like an absolute demon. You've also got solid concealment for a tier 10 BB. You can go full stealth build and sneak up on people, which is wild when you realize how fast and deadly you are. Imagine a 25,000-ton warship creeping through the mist like a ninja, then suddenly sprinting forward, launching torpedoes, and erasing someone's health bar. It's the kind of energy that makes players rage in chat. And we live for that. The synergy between all its tools is what makes Saint Vincent so dangerous. Everything fits together. The guns get you the damage, the speed puts you in position, the torps finish the fight, the superheal keeps you going, and the concealment lets you decide when to engage. It's like the devs looked at a battleship and said, let's build the entire skill tree into one ship, and somehow they made it work. But you do need some brain cells to get the most out of it. This isn't a potato-friendly ship. You overextend, you get punished. You chase too hard without support, you get melted. If you're not using your consumables wisely, especially the speed boost and superheal, you're leaving value on the table. Saint Vincent rewards aggression, but only if you understand positioning and timing. It's like driving a Ferrari. You can go insanely fast, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're just gonna crash into a wall. In the right hands though, Saint Vincent is a monster. It's built to carry, to win flanks, to crush cruisers, to punish destroyers that get greedy. The moment you land a dev strike, follow it with a torpedo kill, and then survive thanks to your super heal, you'll understand. It's not just a battleship, it's a British war crime with turbochargers. If you're the kind of player who loves aggressive flanks, high-risk, high-reward plays, and brawling with flair, Saint Vincent is for you. It's one of the most fun BBs in tier 10. Ridiculous, brutal, stylish, and terrifying. Whether you're farming krakens or just vibing with devastating salvos, there's never a dull moment with this ship. And let's be honest, if you're sailing into battle with a battleship that has torpedoes and speed boost, you're not here to play safe. You're here to ruin someone's day, and Saint Vincent is more than ready for it. So go ahead, push the flank, pop that engine boost, rip someone's health bar off with a salvo, and finish them off with a torp spread. When you get your 5th kill and the Kraken badge flashes on screen, you'll know this is how battleships were meant to feel.